yet is seen. It started off as a light-hearted, highly anticipated interview between comedian Trevor Noah and Burkina Faso's military leader Ibrahim Traoré. Set on a popular international talk show stage, viewers around the globe tuned in expecting a friendly dialogue sprinkled with sharp wit and political insights. Trevor, as always, was smiling and cracking jokes, warming up the crowd. Ibrahim Traoré, dressed in his signature military-style jacket, was composed, calm, and confident. But no one could predict how the next 10 minutes would escalate into one of the most unexpected live moments in recent TV history. As the interview progressed, Trevor's tone turned from comedic to slightly confrontational. He asked Traoré pointed questions about democracy, leadership, and Africa's relationship with the West. Though still smiling, it was clear that Trevor was trying to corner the young African leader. Traoré, however, answered each question sharply, deflecting with grace, facts, and clarity. The tension between humor and hard truths began to rise. The audience, sensing a subtle clash of ideologies, leaned in. What began as comedy was shifting into a battle of narratives. Then came the joke that crossed the line. Trevor, in an attempt to lighten the mood, mocked Traoré's military background, quipping, "So, do you plan to kick democracy in the face too?" The room fell silent. Traoré's eyes narrowed, his jaw tightened, but he didn't flinch. Instead, he leaned into the mic and calmly said, "We do not joke about the struggles of our people." Trevor laughed nervously, unsure if the leader was still playing along. But what happened next would go viral instantly and spark global debate across social media platforms. In an unexpected theatrical gesture, half serious, half symbolic, Traoré stood up, walked toward Trevor with dramatic poise, and gave a soft, choreographed kick toward Trevor's knee, not harmful, but firm enough to shock. The audience gasped. Some laughed awkwardly, others froze. Trevor's face went from amusement to stunned disbelief. Traoré then turned to the crowd and said, "That's what happens when you make fun of a continent's fight for dignity." And just like that, the symbolic gesture became an instant symbol of defiance against casual mockery of African sovereignty. Trevor, though clearly caught off guard, tried to recover the moment with a joke. "Well, that's the first time I've been kicked for asking about democracy." The audience burst into laughter, easing the tension slightly. But the shift in tone had already happened. Traoré had made his point. Africa was no longer the punchline. He sat back down, eyes fixed on Trevor, who now showed visible respect. What started as a late-night segment had become a masterclass in commanding presence and standing one's ground with dignity. Traoré took the next few moments to redirect the conversation. "We are not here to entertain the world's pity or skepticism," he said. "We are here to reclaim the narrative." He outlined Burkina Faso's recent efforts to secure its own resources, cut ties with exploitative partnerships, and form alliances rooted in mutual respect. Trevor, listening intently now, nodded. The audience could feel the change. This was no longer an interview. It was a global conversation about power, history, and media responsibility. Clips of the kick moment flooded the internet before the episode even ended. Some saw it as a stunt, others as a bold stand. African youth, in particular, hailed Traoré for standing firm. Memes, edits, and reaction videos poured in. The kick heard around the world. Some users captioned it. Political analysts dissected it, while talk show hosts around the world debated whether it was appropriate or powerful. But regardless of opinion, one truth was clear. Traoré had captured the world's attention, and not through violence, but through a bold refusal to be mocked. Back in the studio, Trevor regained his rhythm, this time asking thoughtful questions about neocolonialism, media framing, and the rise of African sovereignty movements. Traoré responded with passion and intelligence, proving that beneath the uniform and stern expressions was a leader with a vision. The two men, now more balanced in energy, continued a meaningful discussion that left the audience reflecting rather than just laughing. The rest of the interview was quieter, but filled with purpose, ending in an unexpected handshake between the two. As the cameras went off, audience members gave a standing ovation, not for drama, but for truth. Traoré's moment on Trevor's show would be remembered for its symbolism, Africa kicking back against disrespect, reclaiming dignity in the most unexpected way. For many, it was the first time a leader from the continent had taken a public stage and refused to be handled or turned into satire. This wasn't just a media moment. It was a shift in how leadership, identity, and global respect are demanded in real time. In the following days, Traoré's appearance was the subject of headlines, think pieces, and classroom debates. Some criticized the act as unprofessional. Others called it one of the most iconic gestures of modern African resistance. Either way, the message had landed. Africa is no longer here to laugh along with the world's dismissive jokes. It's here to stand tall, speak loud, and yes, even kick back when necessary. Traoré's moment with Trevor Noah will go down not just as a viral clip, but as a declaration in defense of a continent's pride and power.